I'm Myke Shrews,
And I'm Tivis,
and you're listening to
the Munster Cast.
episode 97. Yeah. Welcome back, everybody, to the Munster Cast, the podcast where we watch and talk about the Munsters and Munsters adjacent. I'm, of course, your host, Myke Shrews, here with my co-host and friend, Tivis. So, Tivis, please tell everybody out there, how you doing, man?
Oh, I've been all right. Sorry about the week delay, people. Some stuff happened that we didn't expect,
Yeah.
between vacations, people coming to stay. I think Myke might have got sick in between the time we last recorded. It's been a while.
So I didn't get sick, but I did have back thing go down. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been to the doctors a lot. Yeah, definitely.
I couldn't remember if you got sick, if that was during the time someone was there. You get sick a lot, dude.
Yeah. No. I wasn't sick at all, actually. It was just the when we were out of town, the back stuff started, then people came into town. I was probably just sick and tired of everybody.
Yeah. How's your back, by the way?
It's doing a little better today. Last night was my last night of meds for it, so we'll see how it works after that all flushes out of my system. And yeah. Interesting times.
Some good stuff that happened while we were away is that we got to meet up and have breakfast with our wives. That was cool.
Yeah. We got a nice vacation together.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my family did, and we got to hang out, me and Tivis, and ended up going to a nice toy store there where Tivis realized that the prices of things are very expensive nowadays.
Just for some stuff that I'm not interested in. I'm like, I would never pay that.
Yeah, I totally would.
Yeah, I know you would.
I got a new shield, so ha. I didn't pay a dime for that, though. I traded stuff in for it. Anyways, guys, let's get into some dirty business real quick here. You can catch the Munster Cast on all social media platforms as Facebook and Instagram via the Munster Cast. We are on other social platforms as well. Just Google or search the Munster Cast on those platforms. You can also check out our pretty ugly faces every Munster Monday at youtube.com/@TheMunsterCast. That's youtube.com/@TheMunsterCast. Whew. Okay. You can also go over to the MunsterCast.com website. That is the MunsterCast.com, and check out all of our content in one place, guys. This is very good to have this link, as we have found out there is somebody out there trying to use our images for shirts and put them on their own sites and stuff. So if you ever want a Munster Cast shirt, a Munster Cast branded logo, any of the shirts that we have designed specifically for you guys out there, the Munster Cast fans, you can always go to the MunsterCast.com and click the shop tab, or go over to the MunsterCast.com/merch, and that'll take you directly to our site. Whether or not we are using the same site that we are today, or we are using a new site, it will always take you directly to our site only, that we have.
That I looked up, saw your chair moving, and thought one of your kids was behind you, and I was like, dude.
Oh no, I got my ballistics vest on the back of the chair.
Yeah, he's been using that as a back brace, people. Just
it feels good.
Yeah.
Come on. Anyways, yeah, you can just swing on over to the MunsterCast.com/merch, and that'll take you directly to our shop all the time, no matter what. When we change shops or anything like that, this link will still work and take you to our shop. So definitely use that, guys. Don't click on random links that people are posting in groups, even if it's using our logo, because they are not affiliated with us in whatsoever. We do not affiliate with any other individual out there. We are 100% independent right now. So
Yeah,
Definitely.
that was a fun surprise while we were away.
Yeah.
Thank you, Frank,
Yeah. So,
for alerting us, not doing it.
right, right. You can also email us, guys, if you want to about anything Munsters related, or if you see scams like this shirt thing coming out, you want to email us and let us know about it. You can also do it through social media as well. Just email us over at themunstercast@outlook.com. That's themunstercast@outlook.com. Also, guys, real quick on the website, if you want, you can always click on the little microphone icon that is on the right hand side of the screen and leave us a voice message. That is the quickest and fastest way to get your voice on this podcast without having to wake up at 4 in the morning and do this with us on Saturday at 4 in the morning. So, if you don't want to do that and you still want to be on here and just talk about your Munster love or Munster's ideas, Munster fan films, what you think about the potential Munster show that might be coming out, anything like
Oh
that,
yeah.
do that through the website. You can just click the little mic icon. You can also do it through like Instagram. I think Facebook allows that too now. We've had a few people message us, do voice messages through Instagram as well in the past. So definitely take advantage of that, guys. Tivis, what else we got, man?
We have a Patreon, which, as always, just a tip jar, pretty much. You like the show, you want to help pitch in, help us keep the lights going, because podcasts aren't free. They're free to do, but you still got to pay for the website, the RSS feed, stuff like that. So anything you can give to help really does help us. And if you give at the Lester's next great invention scheme, whatever it is, anyway, the Lester one, you get access to our Discord where you get to talk to us directly.
Mm-hmm.
And also watch along with these episodes with us, because it is the only way we found where Universal won't come after us. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. But if money's tight, times are tough, economies, whatever, leave us a review on anything that allows you to, Apple Podcasts, whatever, even just commenting on YouTube, liking, hitting that subscribe button, the notification bell, uh, all that jazz. All that stuff, helps the show. Also telling people, go tell someone, like that
Yeah.
stuff that helps us way more and gets us noticed and puts us up in the charts, like iTunes and stuff. Like that stuff relies on engagement and things. So,
Mm-hmm.
getting more ears on the show really helps.
Definitely, guys. Yeah.
One more thing, real quick. I want to give a shout out to Comic Geek Speak. We are sponsoring their anniversary next year, and on their latest episode of top 3 Wolverine appearances, they gave us a very nice spiel for the show.
Mm.
I said I talked to the Brian there, and I sent him a little snippet of what we do, and they went above and beyond that to our website, and also threw out like the merch and other stuff. So just a
Nice.
quick shout out to them. The those hosts are Brian, Peter, and Pants, and also a shout out to Ian, Mert, and Shane, who are doing comic timing. Ian is a acquaintance of the show. We had him on our Mike's other show. So,
Mhm.
Comic Speak, Comic Timing, if you're a nerd, both of these shows, while independent, have some really great synergy right now. So,
Awesome.
yeah.
I prefer Kenergy, but
No, get out
it
of here.
starts. It starts.
We're a bit giddy because we're both watching, not together, but Wolverine and Deadpool later today. So we're excited.
Spoilers for how long this is taking the.
Oh, they don't care. They're gonna get it when they get
All right, guys. So Tivis, what are we talking about today?
Today we are talking about Misadventures in Time,
Dun
Season
dun
2,
dun.
Episode 20, or 114th overall. I believe I changed that. I should probably check. Aired Saturday, May 12th, 1990.
Dun,
This
dun,
was
dun.
written by Carol Hatfield and Lane Sarosone. I have to have spelled that wrong. Carol only has 3 writing credits listed. One episode of presenting Susan Anton in 1979, the Best of Times TV movie, and then this episode here. Lane, however, had her first writing credit in 1969 with Singing Faces. She went on to do The One-Armed Bandit, The Groove Tube, where she has her only acting role listed, The Chevy Chase Show, Presenting Susan Anton, so that's where they met, The Best of Times, World's Funniest News.
Okay.
And she's got like a total of 26 credits. She's been nominated 6 times for Cable Ace Awards, 1 time Primetime Emmy Award, and winner of 2 Writer Guild of America Awards.
Nice.
And once again, we have Bonnie Franklin as our director. This is her 10th of 12, so we got 2 more of her.
Awesome.
We keep saying she is the Ezra Stone of this show, and yeah. For cast listing, we have a questionable one, but we'll get to that. We'll start with Whitby Hertford as Kid Grandpa. Now, I'll be honest, I haven't done this in a while. Full disclosure, I wrote this up before I watched the episode. I was not prepared for what we were about to talk about. I'll just say that. So, Whit has 84 acting credits with 2 upcoming. He was born in 1978. And he's also got 13 writing credits. So I'm going to start in the writing. His first writing credit was in 2010, introducing Jackie Chills for the People. It was a short.
Mm-hmm.
He also has Happy Place, Dream World, Peter at the End. A lot of shorts he's written for. But still, you got to mention it. His first editing credit, though, was in The Fall Guy 1984 TV series as young Osmond. He went on to be in The Twilight Show. He was in Poltergeist 2. There you go, Myke.
Mm-hmm.
Home Fries, Rampage from 1987, not the Rock movie. Mr. Belvedere. There's a show we haven't talked about on here before, I don't think.
No.
Oh, he was in Nightmare on Elm Street, The Dream Child, the best Nightmare on Elm Street movie, the 3rd one, for people who don't know.
Oh, when this kid popped up, I was like, he looks so familiar. The face, it's that face.
Well, he's 3 episodes of Full House, which I know.
Yeah,
we've seen a few of. Let's see.
Well, I recognized him. I found out from the Addams Family.
Which Addams Family?
The Addams Family from the 1991.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, he did some voices on Tailspin. That's cool. Darkwing Duck.
He's done a lot of voice acting for sure.
He was a volunteer boy in Jurassic Park. I don't know what that means, but all right. Ooh. He was Billy the Seal in Batman the Adventure animated series. That show is so good, people. He was in episode of Mad TV. I miss that sketch comedy show. That was so much better than Saturday Night Live. And I love Saturday Night Live, but
he's been in a lot of stuff. So he did like
How I Met Your Mother.
Of How I Met Your Mother, Glee for anyone who watched Glee stuff.
Psych.
Which Psych is such a great show, guys. Everyone needs to go watch that show.
Star Wars The Clone Wars. His latest thing came out. It was apparently a TV show that ran from 2010 to 2024, but only has 22 episodes. So clearly they released a couple after the fact. Adventures in Odyssey.
I mean, look at Stranger Things, though. We're going on season 5, and it's been 10 years.
So. It's not been 10. It can't be. Oh my God, it might be 10.
It's almost 10, I think.
Oh, anyway. So yeah, that's Whitby. He's got a long career.
Stranger Things started in 2016, so it's like 8 years, and they're about to finally release season 5.
Yeah, well, they're filming it.
Oh yeah, so it might be 10 years by the time it comes out. Who knows?
It could very well be,
That's
especially with
crazy.
the fact that they're movie length now.
Yeah.
All right, so the next one after that is Daniel Wilson as Kid Herman. He's got 8 acting credits to his name. First credit was in Blood Fist in 1989. He was in, I have to mention this, 2 Doctor Who audio dramas from Big Finish Productions. What, did you notice something else from Whitby?
His last one. Heck yeah, I remember that episode.
Adventures in Odyssey?
No. No, from Daniel Wilson, sorry.
Oh, okay.
That's who you're on right now.
Yeah. So, yeah, so yeah, I have to mention the Doctor Who connection because I love Doctor Who. But Big Finish Productions, they do audio adventures like radio plays, not just audio books, like full cast things with background sounds and stuff. It's really cool. But he was in Project Twilight, which was a 6th Doctor story written by Kevin Scott and Mark Wright, directed by Gary Russell, and then The Rapture, which was a 7th Doctor directed by the super team of Jason Haig Ellery and Joseph Lidster, both extremely good. I listened to them both years ago. His most recent was an episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer in 2003, where he played Shadow Man number 3.
Yeah.
I thought that would excite you.
That's kind of cool. Dude, I even remember this Disney Ariel and Mysterious World Above where he played the voice of Flounder. I remember this. It was a read along.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. That's kind of cool. Anyway.
Next, we have Joshua Bush as Boy's voice. He has 3 acting credits to his name.
I'm sorry, I can't take anyone serious with the last name Bush.
This show was his first. His actual first appearance was in 2003 Tan Lines. Or I'm sorry, 2005 Tan Lines. He then went to work on sound mixing for James and Jenna before returning to act in The Return of the Psycho Sisters in 2015. The next one is Erica Palmer as the girl's voice. She's got 2 acting credits. This was her first, but her actual appearance was in 1995 Seduction of Innocence. Which, for some reason in my brain, I need to pull up because I was not expecting. It's like,
well, how old was the actress? Was it what?
Hang on, I gotta find Erica Palmer. Misadventures in Time. Erica Palmer.
She just plays she's not the main character or anything like that. She's probably just a little girl in the movie.
Yeah.
If it was 5 years later, she's probably like 15.
There was one I found that had an interesting name that turned out to be like a weird sketch comedy show that lasted like 4 episodes.
Gotcha.
For some reason, my brain was associating with that. I'm like, because it was a title that you would not expect. All right. So the final one we have, which Myke and I were discussing before we started recording, we're pretty sure is not actually in this episode.
Yeah, there's no other person in this episode, so I don't know where the heck they got this from.
It has to be from another episode.
Has to be.
So we have Joe Davis as Buff Hunk. Oh, now
he's a stunt entertainer though, so but there was no stunts done in this.
No, he is an actor and a stuntman. So I'm gonna go ahead and read out his stuff anyway, just because he's listed here, and you know, why not? Just give some attention to people who, you know, put work into this shit, you know. So He's got 3 as additional crew members, where he's a stand-in in the Heat of the Night, An Innocent Man, and The Guardian. Now stunts. He's got 21 projects where he did stunts. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure was the first one. Prey of the Chameleon, Batman and Robin, Bewitched, the 2005 movie, which is really good. People who write it off. Corey in the House, that's a show my sister loved.
It's
Alien
okay.
Encounter.
It's okay.
It's good.
It's okay.
Will Ferrell is a great.
The Brady Bunch movies are better.
Yeah. I would rather watch Bewitched. Now for his acting credits, first appeared as good-looking man number 2 in an episode of Chips in '79.
Oh dang! This guy was in the Rob Zombie Halloween movie as a stunt performer.
Oh,
that's dope.
Who's the Boss? Saved by the Bell. Oh no, go Married with Children. Yeah, just Star Trek Enterprise.
Yeah. Well, there's always Star Trek connections, man. I'm just used to it.
He's uncredited in season 4. I'm not that far in the show yet. Let's see what else we got here. Beverly Hills. Oh, he's in the new Beverly Hills, which I still haven't seen on Netflix.
Okay.
Axel F. So that's cool. He was in a Smashing Pumpkins music video. This dude. All right. He may not have been in this episode,
but he's been in a lot of other shit.
What a career.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right. So that's all I got for acting credits. I think it's time, Myke.
It's time. It's time. It's synopsis time. Yeah. All right. Misadventures in Time, which aired May 12th, 1990, as Tivis previously stated. Let's go. On this episode of The Munsters Today, Lily is on another spring cleaning binge as Grandpa is polishing up his time machine for another joyride through time. Will he go back to Pompeii and take more footage? Doubtful. As Lily tries to dissuade Grandpa's Legends of Tomorrow antics, Herman and Grandpa ramp up harder to travel into the future. Grandpa dead set on stock secrets and Herman along for a joyride for quality time with his father-in-law. What could possibly go wrong? Will Herman and Grandpa end up in a dismantled future brought upon by the ignorance of adult antics? Will Grandpa be an abbreviated version of himself with a Napoleon complex? Will Herman's pint-sized brain lead him to share his wife like she's a bucket of popcorn? Will Marilyn have a nostalgia trip to the 60s? Will Eddie be too short to take a ride through time with Grandpa? Will Grandpa donate some creepy voice kids to a petting zoo? And above all else, will chaos ensue? Find out this week on The Munsters Today.
That's very well done.
It was weak.
I thought I did well.
All right. Let's dive into the Misadventures in Time.
All right. We open with Lily dusting the house again.
Grandpa's no better than the Legends of Tomorrow, by the way, with traveling through times.
No. She's putting books into what I think says Old Bat's Home Library. Can you tell?
No.
Okay.
Oh wait, Old Bat's Home. Yeah, Old Bat's Home Library. Yeah.
All right. That is a great. It's like it sounds like something that would a library in an old folks' home, and that's wonderful. Eddie comes down, letting her know that he finished cleaning his room.
He has a sack of sludge in his hand,
and I'm like, oh, it must be the spring deep clean that a lot of people do.
Yeah.
It honestly looks like blood.
I don't know what this is supposed to be.
I
don't know.
Lily doesn't want it, and it's dripping. So she's like, get it out of here. Then he bumps into Marilyn on his way out. She's carrying a very thin mummy and does a Brooklyn, I'm walking here joke.
Yes.
Some of it spills on the carpet. Lily comes out and looks at some newly formed acid holes, and she
I
considers it an improvement.
I really thought, like, at first, before they just brushed that off, that, like, the acid stuff on the floor was going to play a bigger part in this episode.
Yeah, she heads over to Marilyn, and Marilyn's like, "Hey, I got the coffee stains off the mummy, and I was not expecting this to be the mummy because it looks
The
nothing."
mummy. She had them steam cleaned, so now he's like super tiny.
Yeah.
Like,
Like,
because you
was
gotta
this an
think,
intentional joke, or did they just not have the proper prop that day?
or I mean, Marilyn might not have been able to carry the bigger prop.
Yeah, that's true.
So
So yeah. Lily asked Marilyn to clean out the fish tank that was mentioned for last episode. Continuity.
yeah. Wait, last
Marilyn,
episode? Oh yeah. I remember.
yeah,
Yep.
where they dump Grandpa's phone in the tank. Marilyn doesn't want to scrub the piranha tank, but Lily's like, "Hey, uh, just don't use your writing hand."
Yeah.
Thanks. Which is, the piranha stuff in movies and TV shows, they only will bite you if you're just floating there without moving. They aren't carnivores, they're scavengers.
Oh yeah, it's like when people, when like they just fall into a bat of them and they just yeah.
So, I don't know. That one has always annoyed me. But then again, we have movies such as Piranha, which is dumb entertainment, so it's whatever.
Yeah.
So Herman comes up from the lab as Marilyn is explaining she has a 50s party to attend that night.
60s.
No, it's 50s at first.
Oh, is it 50s at first?
Yeah, because I
Okay.
had to go back and double check that.
Interesting.
Yeah, the story of this party changes with every scene it's mentioned in, so we'll get to that.
Yeah, I feel she just wanted to like go and do whatever. Like,
Yeah,
there was no party. This is all a fabrication. It was all a lie. Wasn't true.
yeah.
False.
So she
It's like the fact or fiction. Sorry,
yeah.
I've been watching that.
Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Oh,
What are you?
I'm trying to get the string to even on both sides and it's not working. See? Mother sucker.
You get some problems, man. So she asked, Lily asked how it's going helping Grandpa clean up the lab. He hands her a newspaper and says that's the only thing he's willing to toss. The headline says Hitler invades Czechoslovakia. Which, for people who don't know history, that was March 15th, 1939. In December 1992, it actually split into the Czech Republic and Slovak Republic, aka Slovakia. So, yeah, that newspaper is old.
Nice. Okay.
Lily asks about the rest of the junk down there, and Herman tells her it's essential for unraveling the mysteries of science. So he gave up on his alchemy again?
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like to me.
This grandpa goes back and forth on what he likes to do.
Yeah, he does. She calls him an old pack rat and heads down there, handing Herman a book, to which Herman is super excited to have. At first, I thought it was the same book from last week because, he wants to find the erotica in it, but it is way too small. It kind of looks like a golden book.
Yeah.
So Lily tells Grandpa it looks like the final scene from Citizen Kane down there. Sorry. She then notices what he's working on and freaks out.
It's
a time machine.
Grandpa has a time machine?
Time machine.
And apparently it works. Because they've used it before.
Yeah. Yeah, we get
also, that. I told you he had a time machine.
Yeah, we get this. Remember in the old show we used to say that they had the Family Guy type, you know, talking about adventures that were off screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that happens again. She then gets happy when she thinks he's dismantling it, but he says, "No way, he's just upgrading it."
Mm.
The last time you and Herman used this thing, you came back crying like babies, tarred and feathered. So I'm like, oh, did they go back to the old country?
Also, got to point out in this scene, Leonard is back to moving around in the background. So
Yeah.
that's nice. He's not just a stale prop again.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I made note of that somewhere in here.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I am off today. Let's go. Come on, wake up. Grandpa kind of likes the feathers, but the tar was the annoying part. She says he has. You were still very upset by it. And he counters that it's because they went to the past, a very depressing place. Which is true. Don't live in the past or you'll miss all the good in the present, honestly.
Can't
I
create the future.
Well, I have a certain family member doing that kind of pisses me off because he's missing some wonderful kids growing up around them. But whatever. Grandpa says,
I am annoyed because my first thought was, oh, Grandpa's going to use the time machine to go back and stop the bombing that happened in the last episode. Nope.
No. If he was going to do anything, he'd go back and stop Lily from marrying Herman. Let's be real. But then again, he does like Eddie, so.
Yeah.
It's a conundrum.
But as we've seen, wasn't Eddie around even though Herman and Lily weren't together?
No, we saw the episode that they were ready to expand their family.
In the episode where Herman goes into the alternate reality, Eddie's still there.
Yeah, but he's the kid of a... Yeah, well, Eddie's a jerk in that one. Eddie's kind of a jerk in this one. Let's be real. So Grandpa says, this time we're going to the future. Cue the SpongeBob meme. Lily says, the hell you are. Grandpa counters with, it's simple. Just reverse the polarity of the neutron flow and recalibrate the plasma neutron acceleration with his PC.
I feel this is where Sam would have come into play.
Yes.
A little bit.
I have to once again shout out the fact that they said reverse the polarity, which is my favorite doctor's phrase. So they will transplant themselves anywhere in the future. It will be one small step for Grandpa and Herman Munster, and one giant leap in our electric bill. Which just brings me back to, remember when I forget what was going on. I think Grandpa was trying to control the weather and he shorted out electricity for the entire town when Lily and Marilyn were running their boutique.
Was he trying to control weather, or was that the voting one?
It was not the voting one.
Okay.
That one was way earlier.
Okay.
Because remember, that one was the first time we saw the Zombo makeup. It was just on someone who wasn't Zombo.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Grandpa asks if he would do this if it wasn't 100% sure thing. And I'm like, yes, you would. What do you think? I'm some kind of reckless, uncaring con man? And I'm like, yes, you are.
Yes, you are.
Who would jeopardize the well-being of himself and others? And I'm like, yes, you would. Lily turns to glare at him because she knows. And he says it was rhetorical. That didn't help your case, dude.
She gives like a nice, like little Jersey glare at him. Like, like something you would expect from like a Jersey lady in the movie. Yeah.
I love this back and forth between them because it's like everything Grandpa's saying, we know to be true by now. Like, whether
Yeah.
you've only watched this show, watched the classic, watched the movies before this,
Anything. Yeah.
anything, that is Grandpa.
Yep.
He used to use his family as guinea pigs in the original show.
Yeah.
So we're back in the lab, or still in the lab, I should say. Grandpa is telling Herman that as long as they wear their belt buckles, they will be fine. Herman's not pleased to be looking like the tail light to a 57 Chevy because these belt buckles are just giant red reflectors.
Well, 57 Chevy wouldn't have had a round tail light, though, would it?
That's a question for my wife, not me.
It wouldn't have.
She's the car person in our family. I couldn't care less. As long as it runs and gets me somewhere.
Oh, so she probably loved that museum you guys went to then.
Oh yeah, she
Yeah.
loved that. Yeah, we went to a car museum.
It was a pretty cool place.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he only been collecting for like 3 years.
They're not circular, but they kind of look like the it's like a rounded thing like this. It does this. Yeah, it's not a complete circle.
So Eddie rushes in saying he finished all of his chores and he's pleading to go to the future with them. Grandpa just says no.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie wants to see what his first wife will look like. He's already got ambitions. Yeah, of being divorced. Grandpa tells him it's impossible, dangerous, and he's too young. Then points to a sign that says to travel in time, you must be taller than this line.
Which is hilarious to me because that actor who plays Eddie still isn't that tall.
Yeah, James Marsden is...
He's not that tall of a person.
Heck, that line barely got to Grandpa's head, let's be honest.
So that version of Eddie will never get to travel through time. Oh, jeez. Yeah. Also, time travel has a height limit.
Yeah, well, he totally installed that just for Eddie, right? So he'll leave him alone.
Oh, we find out later. No.
Yeah, that comes back, and I was not expecting it. So Herman is now concerned that this will, in fact, be dangerous. Grandpa, making sure Eddie is long gone, tells him, no, it's not more dangerous than riding in a Pianto with a full tank of gas. Now, I may not be a car person, but I looked up what a Pinto is.
Pinto? I was going to say, what the hell is a Pianto?
I don't know. The gas reservoir was near the back. That resulted in rear collisions being a bit more explosive than normal cars. Yeah. Grandpa just wants to go a little into the future anyway. Cheat the stock exchange, check out the technology. Oh boy, they will be shocked. And see if Oprah is still thin. This show and its fat jokes, dude. While funny, you're overdoing it too much. Like, is this about to go into the health craze, which I thought was another decade from this? Because that was 2000s, early 2000s, right? Where we had all the dieting and the health kick, and fast food companies were like, oh God, what do we do? Salad.
I mean, I think it's a generational that like it happened in each decade. It was just different times.
What year did the Angus diet start?
I have no clue what the hell that is.
A very stupid diet that Sharon Osbourne promoted.
Is that like an Angus beef diet?
Yeah, pretty much. It was like only eat red meat, which is one of the worst things you could do for yourself.
I'm going to do that diet. Screw
it. So Grandpa sets the coordinates and the return. Leonard watches him do it all. They then sit down. Grandpa tells him to pray they don't rematerialize in someone's tuna sandwich, which does not help calm Herman's nerves.
And what year are they supposed to be going to?
Okay, so
supposed to
Yeah,
be
I
going
do
to
have it written down
2000.
here. So, yeah, they materialize in some weird sci-fi set that feels straight out of Doctor Who. Honestly, like 80s.
But what year did he put in the machine? Was just 2000, right?
Well,
Was
that's actually
supposed
what
to
I got
be.
coming up. Herman isn't sure they can find a newspaper, and Grandpa thinks he put too many zeros. Now,
Yeah.
it's the year 2,000,000. So was he aiming for 2002? Because they don't
Hmm.
say what specific year. That's the only clue of where they were going.
Yeah. Even to do that, you'd have to. That's way too many zero because you put 2 in then later.
Yeah,
It had to be 2002. He was trying to go to.
that's the only thing I can think of.
Also, why does the future have a waiting room?
Or was he going for 2020, which, oh no, you don't know what you're doing.
They gonna bring back something. um. Yeah. So the future has a waiting room. Like this reminded me of
Yeah.
something like if you were traveling through like the multiverse or something, and like you have to like and like the Speed Force like had a room designed just to like hold you in there.
Mm,
Or like you're going to like heaven and you're waiting at the gates of heaven kind of thing. It's what I kind of felt right here. I was like, yeah, what the heck are we doing?
yeah.
I hate their
So,
time travel rules, by the way, in this episode.
oh, don't even get me started.
I get
So,
so confused at the end.
Herman says that this wouldn't have happened if you just or you didn't refuse to wear your reading glasses, old man. And Grandpa's like, I hate how they make me look. So they then hear children laughing. Herman asks where
Creepily.
they. Oh,
Very creepily.
yeah, yeah. Urban's like, where are we even? He's now finally taking an interest in what's around him. The children answer back that they are in the waiting room for the future.
Future, future,
It,
future, future,
I'm sorry.
future.
What? And I'm like, is this some kind of time master agency keeping an eye on travelers or something?
Yeah. Oh, also before I forgot because it was in my notes. Grandpa is basically Biff, by the way.
Yeah, he is.
Trying to take advantage of the time that way. Anyways,
Grandpa is furious to be placed in a waiting room. The future must be run by dentists. The
and it's
children
all
tell
foggy too. Why is it so foggy? It's just the future, unless it's
the,
smog.
the children tell them to come play with them, and they're like, "This is this is now kind of beginning to seem more like a horror story, even with the laugh track to me."
Oh yes, definitely. This is the kids are like the kids from freaking Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, I was thinking The Shining.
Yeah, the twins.
So
I'm
Grandpa tells
going
Herman
to.
not to fall for it, and then Herman sees a sign. What's the sign say, Mike?
You cannot enter the future unless you are this high.
you you must be shorter than this line. And Grandpa is pissed.
To enter the future. So where exactly are
Oh,
they if they're not in the future
I'm
already? They're like in a interdimensional time riff thing or something. I don't know.
yeah.
We don't know.
I'm sorry. This is actually a question for me that I wrote down for you. Grandpa pissed off some time god, didn't he?
Yes.
Just the fact that the sign is there, I'm like, oh, this is karma.
Eddie's in charge of the future.
Yeah, the
That's
kids say not to worry. The process to take care of that issue has already started. What does that mean? Well, we'll find out. So it turns out everyone in the future is a kid. So this is some Children of the Corn Stargate
yeah.
learning curve kind of place.
Well, they say grown-ups were turning the world into bankrupt, polluted, drug-addicted free-for-all.
Hmm. No
Which
one is allowed
yes.
over the age of 12. Except Jimmy Carter, who's still hosting the Tonight Show. Which is a nice gag.
Twice a year.
Yeah. So, this
And
is
nope.
just a learning curve or a children's ed, depending on what happens to you when you reach 12, kind of thing with, the Stargate stories.
Yeah.
And you know what? Turns out it's a darker one. Grandpa asks, and turns out they vaporize you into a million pieces and replace them with a miniature copy of themselves.
So
Hold on.
so if you turn 13, you just get killed?
Well, here's my thing. Do you actually die, or are you just de-aged? Because that's a very
Vaporized,
big
bro.
difference. They're also children. They could exaggerate.
How are more children made when no one can reach past like the age of puberty?
I think the Earth population probably just stays the same.
It's like some Star Trek stuff where they all stay the same age and they live eternally.
Yeah. Depending on what this vaporization means. The children then ask how old they both are. Grandpa and Herman look at each other and bolt to the time machine. After returning home, Grandpa says, "That wasn't so bad," and Herman agrees. They learned nothing and almost got vaporized. It was fun.
Yeah.
A child Grandpa comments on how much of a dump the lab is, and Grandpa tells him to get away from his workbench.
It's mini grandpa.
Yeah, that's what I eventually start calling him too. The child tells him to back off. This is
Mhm.
my stuff, my lab, my house, and my face. Grandpa is like, "Okay, vampire Smurf." Herman makes the connection that they look alike, and then Mini Grandpa insults him.
Mhm.
"Sounds like you too." Mini Grandpa's not a rocket scientist here. Grandpa tells him that, "Hey, that's my son-in-law." Mini Grandpa responds with, "So?" And Grandpa goes, "Keep going then." Leonard is struggling to follow this conversation, by the way.
I have nothing.
Mini Grandpa asks where Herman.
Because I yeah.
Yeah,
They
Mini
they do a
Grandpa's.
lot of like height jokes in this.
They do.
They're heightest. They're
The two
shortest.
grandpas together are amazing. The kid they got to play Grandpa, just,
Spot on. Yeah.
yeah. Mini Grandpa asks Herman, "Where did you find this clown?" And Grandpa then gets into it with his younger self, and it results with Grandpa telling Herman to tell this child who he is. The kid then asks who this old man is, and Herman struggles because he can't tell the difference, apparently. We then see a mini Herman moving in the background. They eventually notice Mini Herman, and this was the process the child gods mentioned. The originals were meant to be vaporized and replaced, but they ran away too fast. Herman says, "This is my life and my wife."
So they clone everybody in the future. They just continually clone them when they hit that age, and then they kill off the real.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
That's how that works, right? Because they clone them to take over their life, so they could vaporize them.
So it's like the teleportation theory.
When you die, every time you get teleported.
Yeah.
Yeah. When
And
your
a new version
molecules
of
are
you
all
gets made.
being torn apart. Yeah.
Mini Herman.
Science.
Mini Herman picks a fight, telling him to stay away from his wife. Herman is about to kill a child when Grandpa steps in. Mini Grandpa says to calm down, this idiot has to fix this. And Grandpa demands to know who he's calling an idiot. Oh, only overweight vampires present, of course. Now Herman must hold Grandpa back from absolutely murdering a child.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, Grandpa's more likely than Herman. They're like, Herman gets an idea. and begins to start a bond with his little self. Grandpa tells him to get to the point, or grandpas, I'm sorry, both of them. Lily can help. The grandpas run off with Herman and close behind.
It annoys me. They do this gag for a while in this episode here. Both Hermans, the kid and the adult, get ideas and rub their bolts. We have already established in the past
that's an
that this
erogenous
turns
zone.
him on. So what the hell are we doing?
Are you telling me every time you get an idea, you don't scratch your crotch?
No, I tell my wife to do it for me. Baby, scratch this idea out.
It's gonna happen one of these days, people. Just wait for it.
She ain't ever gonna be up this early.
That's what you think.
I know.
So now we come back from commercial break where Lily is pacing. Eddie's on the couch. No Marilyn in sight. The Hermans stand next to the couch, and the grandpas are sharing their chair.
Ellie comes up. He's like, "Neato, pint-sized pop and abbreviated grandpa."
Yeah. Lily thinks it's a disaster. Eddie loves it.
These are midget jokes, by the way. We're just gonna say that.
Yeah. The Hermans get headaches. I'm sorry. This is confusing me now. And bond further over the size of them. Because they're like, I have a headache this big. And Mini Hermans, I got a headache this big. And then they compare like, oh. The grandpas tell them to stop messing around. Lily is confused by the whole ordeal, and Grandpa tells her to be patient as he struggles to get comfy next to himself.
I like how both grandpas have to sit in that chair because it's Grandpa's chair.
It's such a good touch.
Yeah.
Herman asks why they don't just put them on the time machine and send them home. It's not that simple. They're too short to reach the pedals, and they have no insurance. Herman suggests that they be designated drivers then. Well, Grandpa's worried about the whole vaporizing thing still, but he will figure it out.
Is that why he didn't want to go back in time? Or back to the future?
That's just kind of me guessing by the scared look on his face.
Yeah.
Lily asks if there is anything...
Go on.
Anything she can do to help. Grandpa says provide a nurturing and loving environment for the little ones so they stay out of his way. Lily asks how, and Grandpa suggests donating them to the petting zoo before going back down to the lab.
Yeah. And this is where it gets weird.
Oh, yeah. Okay, before we get to that, though, I loved just how frantic nature of Lily trying to process the fact that her dad and husband now have child versions. Eddie's just gleeful during this whole thing. They're shorter than him.
The fact that any of them are taking this seriously as they are those specific people worries me about the mental state of the Munsters. Especially with this scene that's about to come up.
Shall we just knock it out of the way now?
Yeah.
All right. So Lily's sitting between the Hermans. Mini Herman wants to be alone with his wife. Herman tells him to keep dreaming. Mini Herman makes this very creepy by caressing her arm and telling her older women love younger men.
He says, don't listen to him. Go with the times. A lot of older women go with younger men.
Herman gets an idea. They will share her. 1 hour with Mini Herman, 1 hour with him. And Lily tells him to shut up. Herman gets a better idea.
No, she says there's something unhealthy about all of this.
Herman gets a better idea, a schedule. And Lily stops him right there. She isn't an item, and she will decide who she wants to be alone with. They both lean into her. She bolts to be alone with herself because fuck this situation. Mini Grandpa's missing from this scene, and Herman gets an idea. The Hermans get an idea at the same time, and they race to the moat now. They're just going to go have fun.
They keep rubbing their bolts.
Yeah.
Which I guess makes sense after this scene, since Lily left them both hanging.
I like the fact
would you say they have green balls?
That without Lily around, they're just like, let's go swim in the moat.
Don't ignore me.
They're just gonna have a good time. Yeah, I'm gonna ignore you. In the lab, Eddie is helping Grandpa and Mini Grandpa. I love the fact that Eddie's down there, like, getting involved now. Grandpa asks if he wants to go see Phantom of the Opera this weekend, and Mini Grandpa's, that's so pedestrian. We're going to a Poison concert. Grandpa gets annoyed at having to compete for attention with himself and adds that we could go to the Sizzlers after. Mini Grandpa counters with, how about the Hard Rock Cafe? Eddie says to relax. We can compromise. Grandpa, you can buy me lunch and dinner. Mini Grandpa can buy me lunch in a Ferrari.
What is this kid standing on? He's like standing on the edge, and it worries me so much.
Yeah, I know. Both grandpas bare their fangs at each other, and neither agree to this deal because why would they?
Yeah. And then we go back upstairs where name Herman.
He got snacks.
He's got some snackage. And this is when we finally get Marilyn.
Yeah, she's back again. I honestly forgot she was even in this episode, not gonna lie. Her party changed from a 50s to a 60s and begins eating the snack Herman brought out. And Herman's like, so Herman says that she will save money on Biddlets, but spend it on incense. I don't know what that first one is. All right.
No
Herman, Mini Herman comes out with some snacks of his own, and he's in the background. She's like, hey, can you help me with something? I stopped paying attention to her when he came out, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Grandpa tells her she has no idea what they're currently dealing with, and it's a bad time. Mini Herman tells her to have the party that she apparently asked for when I wasn't listening. That she could throw it in the house. Anyway, she starts walking away and is super happy, but Herman's like, no, I said no. She's confused because he just said yes, even though it totally wasn't his tone or coming from right next to her at all.
So, spoilers for the Flash movie. Because I watched it again last night. But it made me think about this scene here. Like, the voice completely different. At the end of the Flash movie, when he's on the phone with Bruce Wayne, you can clearly tell that it's not Ben Affleck's voice.
Nope.
So what the hell was he expecting?
Well, it's Flash, and that version of the Flash, I wouldn't be surprised if he's on drugs. So,
adrenaline. You can say adrenaline.
I'm going to say acid.
After I watched Crisis Part 1 and Crisis Part 2 with my son. We still got to watch the third part. These are animated movies from DC, guys. After watching those and then watching this Flash movie, I was just like, oh man, he really screwed the Flash up. Like, I don't like him as Flash at all, man.
No, Ezra is something to be desired.
I hope we get another Flash in the new stuff that they're doing.
We should be, but who knows when? We don't even know when we're getting our Wonder Woman. So Grant just set the bar so high for Flash.
I'm still a John Wesley Shipp guy too, myself. The original well, not the original Flash, but the original show from the 80s and 90s. Around the time this show was out, actually.
I think he might be the first one to portray him on screen, honestly.
Well, they had serials.
Did they?
But I think that was more Jay Garrick, I want to say.
See, I only remember the Batman and Captain Marvel serials. I don't remember a Flash.
I'd have to look it up. Anyways, sorry.
Yeah, back to so that's when Minnie Herman comes to stand next to Herman, and they both say different answers to her request. She now realizes something is wrong and that she's been completely ignoring everyone in the house all day. Minnie Grandpa comes up and she is shocked. Old age shrinkage got to him so bad.
I love that as soon as he comes up, though, before the door has a chance to shut, he jumps in the chair. Just, like, hangs out. I was like, that's awesome.
I love the fact that she's like, wow, you got so old. Grandpa now comes up with Eddie, and she asks if there's another one of Eddie, and he's like, he sure hopes not. He doesn't want to share the Ferrari. You're not getting a Ferrari, kid. They never agreed. Minnie Grandpa walks around as Grandpa thinks in the dining room, and the Hermans sleep on the couch. Minnie Grandpa begins complaining about their snores. The little one is bad enough, but how do you put up with the big one?
Well,
I love this response.
Wait, where is it? I accept him for what he is, a punishment from God.
It's so good.
Which is even deeper when you think about the fact that Grandpa is a vampire, so it really could be a punishment from God.
Yeah. So Grandpa's like, we have to figure something out. Minnie Grandpa takes offense. We have to do what now? This is on you, old man. They both begin pacing around each other, trying to think of something. Grandpa gets an idea, but gives up on it. Minnie Grandpa chastises him for making him forget his idea. Well, if it was so great, you wouldn't have forgotten so easily, now would you? Minnie Grandpa runs and jumps into his chair again.
Yeah.
Lily comes out, and Grandpa tells her he has no idea what to do other than wait for them to go outside and move.
Yeah, wait till they go out to play and move.
Minnie Grandpa can't understand how they can be the same person when he's so smart and older him isn't.
It's so dumb.
Grandpa takes offense. Waking the Hermans, and Lily immediately jumps in the middle to protect the child's life. She has had enough. It's been 2 days, and you are all annoying little... Wait, I got it. But you all need to go back. So I'm like, okay, so we're going with Herman's plan then.
I hate this scene.
Wait, never mind. It's more confusing. The adults go 2 minutes into the future and leave the children 1 minute into the future. So they both meet at the same time and get reintegrated.
What?
I need someone to explain this to me. But
I literally wrote that too. I was like, I need to understand this time travel stuff. Please explain.
Everyone loves the idea though, so they head down to the lab.
What?
I know.
You go 2 minutes into the future. They go 1 minute into the future. You will integrate together. What? Please, someone out there who maybe understands
There's
like a quantum physics type thing or anything like that.
There won't be anyone.
What? I have quantum physics books. I read about time travel stuff all the time. I don't understand this one.
My favorite show is about time travel.
What?
So in the lab, the grandpas compliment
I just watched
Lily.
Flash that talks about how that works, and it was so stupid, but this thing made more sense than this does. I don't understand. What?
Can I just say how awesome that movie is for having Savitar as the unexpected villain?
But not call him Savitar.
I know. I'm like,
Some stupid motherfucker.
Anyway, the grandpas compliment Lily on such a brilliant, confusing idea. We're in a comic mood. I'm sorry, people. It's like I got a board game coming up with DC characters. I'm super excited that I won't even get my hands for like 2 years, but whatever. Mini Herman is sad to be leaving Big Herman. Herman feels the same. He never had a little playmate before. You have a son.
Yeah.
Mini Herman hopes to be half the man
maybe,
Herman
I
was.
mean, he's never had a little playmate that can be in the thruple. So, ha ha ha.
No, Mike, no. Mini Herman hopes to be half the man Herman is, and Herman says he already is, and they hug. That dude is 1/3 your size, Herman. I'm bad with fractions, and even I know that. Grandpa's bond over the hatred of the Hermans, and for a split second before they all get to the machine. Oh, no, they just bond for a very split second. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Lily asks if there is anything Grandpa wants to say to Mini Grandpa. Yeah, give me back my wallet.
I need my wallet. Little Grandpa gives him back his wallet after taking the cash out of it.
But Grandpa can't see it. So, yeah. They all say I love you to Lily, except for Big Grandpa, who is bitter with age and just wants this to end.
Tivis, are these kids going into the future again, or are they going into Herman? Are they a part of these two people, or are they actually clones? What is going to happen
what
here?
I think is going to happen is they're dropping the kids off a minute into the future. And then 2 minutes in the future, Grandpa and Herman will be materializing and displacing them into atoms, killing them for all intents and purposes.
That makes no freaking sense.
They're going to atomize these children is what's going to happen.
Because they're already occupying the same space at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So them going into the future isn't going to change any of that.
Atomized.
It doesn't
disintegrate. They're going to vaporize the children. Is what's happening.
Work. They're killing these kids.
They are 100%
child killers.
They are vaporizing them like the child gods wanted to do to them. It's revenge.
That's why you don't mess with adults, kids.
Lily waits for them to return by well, I mean, the children did take over the future. Can I just say Lily is pacing for them to return, and she's pacing right through where the machine was.
Mm-hmm.
What a great way to get yourself atomized. Yeah. Grandpa and Herman return without the children. Herman pulls Lily aside, asking if she wants another kid, and they rush upstairs. Grandpa notices his cash is gone and throws his wallet in anger.
Which, if they were morphed together, his money should be in his pocket.
Yeah, no, they killed them kids.
Yeah. Those kids are gone. Like,
that's why Grandpa loved the idea so much.
2 minutes into the future and 1 minute in the future does not make sense. It's so stupid. This is it's the first time I'm like legitimately mad about a story arc in this freaking thing. This show.
Yeah. So we get our last scene.
Oh,
Grandpa, Eddie, and Marilyn are sitting in the living room looking at a book. Grandpa, it looks like a photo book, like Family Memories. Grandpa complains about time not healing his cold sore. Marilyn asks what era Grandpa would love to live through. The Middle Ages. Between the plague, pestilence, and persecution, you never had to worry about what to do on the weekends. Herman comes in with a book of his own, and once again, I thought it was thicker than water book, but no, it's the Golden Book. Eddie thought
ain't it?
It might be, yeah. It does kind of look like his joke book from the original show.
Yeah.
Eddie thought it was nice having two grandpas, even if one was smaller than he was. Grandpa asks if he told them about his two-headed uncle before. Herman doesn't think
John.
so. Yeah.
John and John.
He was the only guy he knew who would have his cake and eat it too. He really annoyed me. Real cheapskate. He used to use 2-for-1 coupons at the barber shop. Eddie asks if he's still around, and Grandpa's like, no. He passed the same time, or he passed the same saw back and forth until he died.
He's passed the same sore throat.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, that's what he says. He passed the same
I thought
sore
it was a
throat back and
beheading
forth
joke.
till he died. No. It was
Oh,
the same sore throat because their heads are right next to each other. So they just kept getting sick and sick and sick and sick. Dude, that would suck. I never even thought about that. Like, if you're a conjoined twin.
Oh, yeah. Like those teachers or that teacher. No, they count as two people. I'm bad at this. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, no, there is a conjoined twins who is like two heads that teach. They used to have a TV show that Victoria watched. Their life is pretty amazing.
Girls or whatever. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they seem like awesome people. You know,
did you say their life is pretty amazing? They're never alone. That's not
I didn't.
amazing.
I said they seem pretty amazing.
Oh, okay.
You know, they they're nice from what has been said about them and stuff. So you don't get that from many TV people.
What if one of them, if you share the same body with somebody, but one of your not personalities, it's a completely different thing.
Yeah.
One of the sides decides they are male and the other one's still female. How does that work?
I mean, they are two people, so you could just say they.
Yeah, but like, what if the one wants an operation done?
Well, you can't get that with the other one's consent. You share the body.
It's a big conundrum, huh? Need consent for your own body from your other body part.
Also, I think surgeries would be, because it's a miracle they're still alive. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Any kind of surgery is pretty risky for them. So
these are the questions that run through my head.
Yeah,
when I am alone.
Never heard of them, look them up. Their story is really interesting. And
yeah. Anyway, last line. This is actually a longer scene. This is the longer scene that we've had.
Yeah.
Post,
Herman
for a while after the main credits. Sorry.
It really is. No, you're fine. Herman would love to have two heads. Even if Grandpa goes, even if he did, his IQ would still add up to less than 12. Marilyn would love two heads too. One could eat hot fudge Sundays while the other dieted. You share a stomach, Marilyn.
That's not how that works. I mean, they could have two stomachs, but still.
No.
Is your metabolism doubled because there are two technical bodies that are things there?
That is a good question. I don't know. That is a really good question. Damn.
And does the other one taste what the other one's eating?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Oh, I guess they're not connected through that. Yeah. But you don't know. Maybe.
No, they don't.
You don't know.
I do know. Lily comes out now with snacks, apologizing for her not having the party. Marilyn doesn't know what to do with the 10 pounds of beads that she bought. Grandpa tells her the 60s were nothing anyway. Nothing exciting happened. Herman's like, wait a minute. Vietnam, Woodstock, Kent State.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I was talking about the 1760s. I'm sorry.
I like that Herman knows his past.
Yes. The French Revolution, just a bunch of gawkers with nothing to do but knit and watch heads roll. Marilyn thinks that's sick, but hey, Grandpa finished 3 scarves before lunch.
Yeah. Yeah, Marilyn's actually like genuinely disgusted by the comment of like the heads rolling and stuff.
Mhm.
I'm like, you live in the house with these people. What are you talking about?
Mhm.
And I just love that like you end on like a scene. The still frame is grandpa saying that and starting to laugh, and Eddie's laughing too. And Lily's starting to crack a smile, but Marilyn just looks so disturbed. And that's what you end on. Like that's the
Mhm.
screenshot at the very end of the episode. I'm like, that's awesome. It really shows like the difference, I think, right there of them.
Mhm.
Because everyone else there is like straight up. Like, I mean, Marilyn is part of the family, blood related and
Oh yeah,
everything
yeah.
too. But they're all like the main thing. Still, we need a episode to show when Marilyn comes, guys. Come on now.
Yes, we need Maryland centric or Lily centric at this point because Lily's kind of just been designated to kind of side character for a lot of these.
Lily?
Yeah,
Yeah, she's basically just, oh, you guys need more food?
we're
Oh, you
back
need
to the same format with the characters that we were with the original show that we complained about.
Yeah,
Yeah. All
it's
right.
sad.
Final thoughts. Let's start with you because I shared way too much last time.
Um, I mean, I don't know, dude. Like, it was an okay episode. I
Eh,
I didn't hate it. I hated the freaking
time travel.
quantum physics time travel hoopla of it all. Um, and this is coming from like I've read like the Time Machine and all that stuff too, which is awesome book, dude. Great
Mhm.
book. Can only travel forward in time, but then everything repeats itself.
Well, that's the what was it? The not the current Planet of the Apes, but the one before it. Um with God, what is it? I forget who's in it, but
The Tim
my
Burton one with Mark Wahlberg,
yeah, I think so. Uh my
the early
physics
2000s.
yes, my
Yeah.
physics teacher said that that is the best representation of time travel basically is you can't go back. You only go forward and the fact that he goes and it's like the apes have their own Washington DC.
Yeah.
It's like time is circular.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
And that was a big thing back in like, I mean, the Time Machine and the Planet of the Apes and stuff like that. They were all written around the same period, I would say. So that probably makes more sense too.
mhm.
But yeah. Definitely it's more like you said, circular.
If we
Um
ever start the other show back up again, we should do a Planet of the
well,
Apes so I have an excuse to actually watch these movies and see
it's
why everyone loves them.
I love Planet of the Apes, man. Like the
I know.
original run of them is so good. I even have they did a live action TV show using the same kind of
Mhm.
suits and stuff they did for the original movies back in the day. It wasn't very long, but I even have that. Um anyway, Circular Time too. Also, they also showed that in Loki, by the way. Uh
Yeah, they did.
so yeah.
Oh,
Anyways,
so good.
guys, I like this episode. It drove me crazy with the freaking science of it.
Oh
Granted,
yeah.
we don't really know how time travel works, if time travel is even possible for real in the real world. We don't know any of this stuff, so it shouldn't drive me crazy. Everyone can have their own rules about it. But at the
It's got to
same
make
time,
sense.
there has to be 2 minutes and 1 minute doesn't make sense. And how does that even work? Because
No.
they're cloned. They're not like a part of them that like separated from them. So they shouldn't join back together. They're already existing in the same time
Mhm.
and space as well. It doesn't make sense. I hate you guys for this, you writers.
The
Horrible.
only episode of time travel in a show that has made me more aggravated than this was in Power Rangers,
Which show?
the original Mighty Morphin.
Okay.
There is an episode where they do time travel and they leave a message. Tommy, the Green Ranger, leaves a message to himself in the past.
Uh-huh.
Then the next episode, we get that scene again, but it's completely different. And also, it's like his future or his past self is giving his future self his communicator, which if he does that, then he won't have the communicator to give to himself.
Give
And
him, yeah.
it doesn't make sense. Unless we're doing branching timelines, then I guess kind of. But also, the scene was completely rewritten to not even resemble what it was.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't mean to cut you off. Your time.
No, I mean, like I did like the little bits they tossed in here and there. The Herman and Lily thing was kind of weird. I was like, I started laughing. I had my headphones on. I was watching it in here, and my wife was like, "What do you laugh about?" And I explained to her, and she's like, "What the hell are you talking about?" Oh man. But it was weird. But it was like that weird to where you're just like, did Herman really just say that? Like, we'll share her. You get an hour, I get an hour. I'm like, what the frick, Herman?
Mm-hmm.
It was odd. Yeah. Don't share your wives, people. Even with yourself, your cloned self or your doppelganger, and yeah. And I did like the little jab at like how society was going at the time. I mean, still is going at the time, with the future where the kids say, they were just, bankrupting everything and polluting the air and killing everybody with drugs and stuff like that. So, and we're seeing that a lot lately, especially with like the fentanyl stuff, craze going crazy still. It's crazy how that works. So hey, who knows? Maybe we'll be killed by a bunch of kids soon, and they'll take over. I feel it's something like their future 2,000,002 or whatever, is kind of something like what South Park would do. You know, like whenever
Yeah.
they did their future things, and Cartman ended up in the future, it was like past all the video game craze and stuff, and he couldn't get the game system he wanted. Yeah. It reminded me of that a little bit.
Yeah,
But
a bit.
I mean, I liked it. There's nothing like super deep to dive into with this episode. I mean, I could talk about that future part, but that's it. Everything else was kind of based in uh in how the writers did it. Unfortunately, it was just weird. It annoyed me. It's definitely not in my top 10. So
Yeah. I think this was an all right one to come back to after our little break because it's not like
too
super
heavy.
heavy. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's got some things to complain about in it.
Yeah.
I love the interaction. Like Wit and Dan as the children version of these guys, they did such a fantastic job.
Oh yeah, young grandpa or your child grandpa or whatever you want, mini me grandpa,
Yeah.
like is perfect, bro. Like the
Mhm.
facial, emotes and everything were just awesome from that kid.
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
Just the interaction between all of them was just great. Removing the annoying time travel aspect. I loved the joke of Eddie can't go because he's too short, but they can't get to the future because they're too tall.
yeah,
That was really great. The waiting room jokes were funny. That future stuff really got dark once you start to think about it. Uh,
yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah, I had fun with this one. It was, it's not, as you said, it's not going to be one of my top episodes, but it was a really nice ease back into the show
Oh
after,
yeah, yeah. Our
like,
break and everything.
honestly, it's almost been a month, people, but
Yeah, yeah.
actually, it might have been a full month.
Yeah, dude. Since we've recorded, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because we've been so busy with everything. Like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
So I'm as I said, I think this is a really good episode to come back into it.
All right.
Now I'm ready to keep going. You know,
Yeah, man.
we're almost done with season 2. Can you believe it?
Yeah. We're going to hit episode 100, though, before we do end of season 2.
I think after.
I said, that's it.
You said before.
Yeah. We're going to hit episode 100 before we end season 2.
We shouldn't.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we will. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of our old schedule.
We're on episode 97. There's only 3 more episodes to 100.
Yeah, so we will have our episode 100 and then the penultimate episode of season 2. You're right.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
That's actually really good timing. I like that.
Yeah. Finish it up.
Yeah, we got to start talking about what we're going to do for the 100th.
Nothing.
You're just getting a normal episode.
Normal, boring episode. No.
Mm.
We'll have something set up for you guys. All right. Any more thoughts on the episode, dude?
No, I think we said all we could, really.
Yeah.
Just wish there was more Marilyn.
Yeah.
At least make her more prominent. These little, it's basically cut down to like cameos at this point.
Yeah. But even Eddie's been kind of like that too, compared to the first season of this show. Like there was a lot more Marilyn, there's a lot more Eddie, and a lot more Lily.
Been to the school even since like the beginning of the season.
Yeah. Yeah, his bully episode, right?
Mm-hmm. And there was another one after that, I think. Oh, where he gets a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Or was that the same one?
Same episode, I think.
All right.
Yeah. All right. So next time we will be talking about what?
Will the real Herman Munster please stand up? And I cannot say this without thinking of Eminem.
Chicka chicka Slim Shady. Just so people do know, though, this phrase came about from the 1956 game show To Tell the Truth.
Ooh,
it would be will the real and then whoever's name please stand up, and that's where this phrase comes from. This line, this original line.
Was this kind of like a Guess Who type show where you eliminate people trying to figure out which, not eliminate, but take them out of the equation? This still sounds like we're killing them.
It says the host would ask this question after the votes were in, and the central character would stand up. Sometimes after some playful fainting, the two imposters would then reveal their true names and occupations. So
kinda. That's like that. You've played that board game though, right? Where you have to like narrow down who someone is from the group of things. You know, flip them down or whatever.
Yeah. Guess who?
Yes. Yeah.
It says in which from the 1950s panel show To Tell the Truth, in which the line was said after votes came in as to who the people thought was the real person they were supposed to find out. So yeah, it's basically that, like a guessing thing. Be kind of interesting, but yeah. So that is where this original will the real blah 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 stand up. I wonder if Eminem knew that when he did he had to have, right?
Maybe. I mean, the guy is pretty smart.
He is. He's like the amount of work that he does, like just to learn the more words and shit, especially for someone who didn't even graduate high school or anything.
The marketing he's done for his new album with the death of Slim Shady is genius. So good. It's so good. I'm not even a fan of most of his music, but I think he's a genius at marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, man.
I think we've shot our bolt.
Yeah, I think that we're good here, man. Like, that is it, guys. So next week we'll be watching that episode or next episode. And then, yeah.
And again, apologize once again for pushing it back from the 5th that we originally said, but
yeah,
things happened. So
At least it's only a week this time, and we didn't disappear for 4 months like last time.
So it's almost a month that we haven't been out
recording.
Yeah.
But we have tried to prepare for you guys, and we're still preparing in case any future problems come up again. But we do need that little cushion, so we're sorry we have to sacrifice that week.
Yeah, all good. Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys. And again, thank you all for listening. Everybody out there, Munster fans, we love you guys. Even if you don't agree with what we say about the Munsters today, like the Munsters today, we still appreciate you guys for listening, sticking out with us, all that fun stuff.
Yes,
we
thank you.
We know that there's many iterations of the Munsters out there, and everyone has their own that they like and prefer more than the other. But we really enjoy talking about every iteration with each other, and even like this episode where we were just like, this is stupid, it doesn't make sense, so it's not like we have to love every single episode from everything. There was a lot of them in the original series we didn't like either too, because of some of the content. So
I was looking at the ratings on IMDb, and I'm like, this episode can't be that bad. Well, I watched this like a week ago, and going through this with you, I'm remembering, oh yeah,
it's that bad.
This is kind of middle of the road, but still enjoyable.
Yeah, it was fun. It was like you said, a good one for us to come back to, not too heavy or anything like that. Especially after the last episode that we did for everybody out there. It was a pretty heavy episode, which is probably a good thing.
Taking that so well, people.
Yes. Yeah, we've actually gotten some good feedback from that episode so far. People that enjoyed it said how we handled the content pretty well and everything.
I hope so.
But I think that was probably a good thing on the Munsters Today side too, to have a little bit of the heavy episode and then come back with this episode here, as their next episode. So it kind of makes sense. So when you think about it like that.
And let's hope we're not on a relevant topic with this one when it comes out, because if someone comes back from the future, I'm going to start thinking we can predict the future, because it's happened twice now.
Or some kids are gonna be like, yeah, we're gonna take over now.
Yeah, the children revolt. Oh, let's hope it's not that one. I'm well over 12, man.
Yeah. Well, that's Gen Alpha would be 12, right? At this point. So I mean, maybe they should take over.
No, yeah, that's fair. But yeah, thanks to everyone listening. Thanks to everyone watching. Thanks to everyone sharing this. Whether you like us or you just love people talking about these characters.
Definitely.
Because we really do. We love these characters, and we can't wait for the new iteration to come up to see a whole nother generation. We've already seen Mike's children into the Rob Zombie movie. How many more are going to be captured by whatever this is that's coming up?
Yeah. And not even just children. Like, this new one could potentially lead into, people in their 20s who've never given a crap about it, or saw like Rob's and were like, oh no, that's too, I don't like that. That looks too like childish or whatever. Or whatever people were thinking at the time, that have never seen or heard of the Munsters outside of like the base, quote that we have Herman play at the end of every episode. Yeah. So, yeah, there's yeah, that's all I gotta say.
And don't forget to check out our YouTube. Myke has been uploading little clips here and there from the show that are funny, some relevant, and others we just like. So the latest one you have up is them arguing?
Lies.
Yeah.
The lies.
Oh yeah, that's right. The lies.
Yeah. Which I've been posting them to like Facebook and Instagram as well, so people can share them from there as well too, so that they can share some clips of the Munsters today, because I highly doubt there's many of them on Instagram.
And make sure to give Myke the praise he doesn't want, because without him, none of this would be happening.
Yeah.
And if he cared to edit more, he would cut that out, I'm sure.
And also remember, guys, if you want a Munsters Cast t-shirt, definitely go to our website. Don't click on any links where people are posting it. It is themunstercast.com/merch. That is themunstercast.com/merch, and it'll take you directly to our store, guys. And we appreciate everyone out there who gave support when we found out that there was someone out there trying to steal our designs and stuff like that. So definitely take advantage. Go to that website, pick up your shirt, show us some support, take a photo of you wearing it, whatever, and share it on social media so that we can see that everybody out there is actually, supporting us and it cares and whatever. And again, there's other designs on there besides the logo, so definitely take advantage of those designs, guys. themunstercast.com/merch. And I am realizing I do a lot more visual emotes with my face when Tivis is talking, and I realize this because there's a lot more silence on the audio version when I listen back every week. Just so you guys know, I am paying attention. I am just like making more facials, and I need to try and remember to say something in response. So I'm trying to get a little bit better about that. I've been doing this for years now with the other show too, and I'm realizing now that not everyone watches the video. Even though when I first started podcasting, it was straight audio and no videos before.
Yeah,
Anyways,
the format I try to go with is put a scene, put a nice breaking point for us to discuss what just happened, and open this discussion to discussion in the middle of talking about the episode as well. So
definitely, man. All right, well, Tivis, any final words for today?
It was awesome seeing you when you were up here. So happy to be back doing this with you. This is a blast, and thank you. Awesome.
Thank you, man. All right, guys, with that all said, we will catch y'all next time as we take another stroll down 1313 Mockingbird Lane.
What does matter is the size of your heart and the strength of your character.